So I recently had a family member come up to me and talk to me about some movies they were watching. And they had recently been rewatching the entire trilogy of James Cameron's Avatar because they had never really seen them, or at least never really paid attention. And they were talking to me specifically about how much the way of water disturbed them. And this particular family member was talking about how they had to kind of keep turning off the movie whenever it got to the point where you were seeing the RDA soldiers abusing and killing the Na'vi and burning down their villages. And he was talking to me about how disgusted this made him feel. And all I could say was that's kind of the intended effect. And looked at me and he was like, but why? Why are they portraying the Marines in such a way? Why is it so mean? Why is it so cruel? And it hit me right then and there that it was like, oh yeah, this is your first time interacting with real content that is a very, very, very watered down simulacrum of what actual colonialism was like and how brutal that event was and how much damage it has done to communities across the world and how many billions of victims it's left in its wake. And it was just really interesting for me to hear this and to see a person have their worldview kind of shattered and changed by James Cameron's Avatar movies, of all things. And what was interesting to me is, as someone who studied anthropology, so I have a mixed relationship with these movies because on one hand, I love them and I think they're cool and they're really fun and they're beautifully made. And I really like the stories that they tell. However, I can also acknowledge the fact that this is probably not the best representation of indigenous cultures. And this movie does have a lot of white savior undertones in it. And it doesn't touch on some of the grotesque themes within the movies as much as I would like. But even with all those flaws, I still enjoy them. But it was interesting for me to hear someone else who wasn't as engrossed in learning about other cultures and just how much this film can hit someone and how much it still can highlight to someone about the cruel realities of colonialism. And for that, I think maybe these movies do have more of a special place in this film zeitgeist than just being very pretty special effects and interesting world building. Just something I kind of had thought about today. Toodles.